What's up, guys? Andrew here. So, those of you who don't know me yet, basically I was smoking weed for 15 years of my life. I spent many years trying to quit, but I just couldn't because I was hooked. I was very addicted to it. Quitting weed has been by far the most difficult thing I've ever had to go through in my life. I've done some difficult things in my life. Took years, basically years of trial and error and learning and applying, and it worked for a bit, but then it didn't work. I relapsed, blah 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 blah. And so this video, I thought the topic can be about how to avoid relapse from my personal experience. So, how to avoid relapse? The reason the reason we relapse is because we still believe that illusions are true. Essentially, what is the illusion? If we're relapsing on weed, we still, on some level at least, believe that weed has something to offer us. And that's the illusion, that it has something to offer us. It doesn't have anything to offer us. It doesn't. So it changes our physiology. It changes how our brain works. It changes how we feel in our body. It creates a sense of kind of relaxation, perhaps. But really, it's not real. And what do I mean by that? By it's not real? Relaxation. So what's the opposite of relaxation? The opposite of relaxation is, we could say, stress, being unrelaxed. So let's say unrelaxed. So what's the cause of being unrelaxed? It is our mind, what we're doing with our mind, how we're thinking, as well as unresolved trauma from our childhood, essentially. And this is a deep topic. So essentially, from my experience, and anyone who is addicted, essentially, it's rooted in trauma, unresolved trauma, essentially unresolved pain, that we just wanna ease this pain. We just wanna ease the pain. Addiction is based solely on an effort to ease pain, to solve pain, get from a place of dis-ease to ease. That's what addiction is. And so relapse is actually, there's two parts involved. One, perceiving that weed has something to offer us, that we don't already have. And two, and so it was even tricky for me at times when trying to quit, because I knew I really had learned and trained myself to perceive or to see the truth that it has nothing to offer me. However, I would still kind of just feel these overwhelming kind of emotions that I just didn't know what to do with, and after a while I would either get hooked on something else like alcohol or some other drug. That's another story. I would either get hooked on something else or just go smoke weed again, because even though I knew it wasn't the answer, I needed to do something to change how I was feeling, and I had no tools. And they're just very overwhelming and very strong, and I would just naturally reach out for something to just suppress it immediately. And so that's the cause of relapse. Yeah, it's a two-part thing. When I was kind of studying how to quit, going through some program, they were basically stressing. I was using a quit alcohol program to help me quit weed. It's essentially it's the same game or the same pattern, only the substance is different. Alcohol versus weed. And they were basically talking about how if we're 99% committed to quitting, we're not gonna quit in the long run. We're gonna relapse for sure. We gotta be 100% committed to quitting, and we become 100% by just really, really, really learning, training ourselves, training our mind, just to see how, if we continue this behavior, in this case, smoking weed every day, perhaps, if we continue it, what's life gonna be like down the line? What are our relationships gonna be like? What's our career or lack of career gonna be like? What's the health gonna be like? What about our confidence, our sense of freedom, our social life? If you're just smoking weed like you are now, if you're doing it 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 5 years from now, a year from now, it's gonna be shit. And so just really get in touch with the pain of that, as well as just notice how the illusions you're perceiving about this weed, that it has something to offer you, that they're not real. I mean, how you perceive it isn't true. If you perceive weed has something to offer you that you don't already have, then that's a misperception. If you perceive that weed has happiness that you don't have, weed can't make you happy. It's, if anything, it's the end of the craving, that it's kind of the relief, the end of the craving, or the change of the physiology. But really, unhappiness is caused by what we're doing with our mind, what we're focusing on, and our old patterns from the childhood. That's the cause for unhappiness, and only letting those go can we get in touch with the true happiness that is always within us and always has been. You cannot escape. We can only block it. And smoking weed, if we're hooked on it, it doesn't bring us happiness, but at least it kind of suppresses the unhappiness. So sometimes it can feel like happiness, you know. And I'm not gonna say that, you know, you haven't had happy experiences on it, because that's not for me to say. But if you're watching this video, chances are it doesn't make you happy. You know that weed doesn't make you happy in the long run. At least not as happy as you could be, as you know you could be, and you know you deserve to be. So, as for so I mentioned the illusions and retraining the mind to basically remove the desire, so that if you have no more desire to smoke weed, you don't need any willpower to quit. It's kind of effortless now. And I've made videos about that, so watch those. Just check out my channel. So see you in the next videos. Thank you.